Hey guys, welcome back to the Heart of Ohio YouTube channel. I'm Jacob.
I'm Josh.
I'm Robert.
I'm Robert, and Robert's with us. He's our guest today. This is exciting because we have one dealer in this antique center that has nothing but rugs. And when we get into Robert's story, he can tell you why they're here and all that. But Robert, before we talk about rugs, like how did you get involved in buying and selling in the first place? Let's back up.
So I grew up in South Park Historic District in Dayton, Ohio.
Okay.
My parents have a big old Victorian house, and they filled it with a lot of antiques. So when I was a kid, we would go to a lot of antique shows. We would come to a lot of antique malls, antique shops, stuff like that. I mean, I even came here probably when I was like 13 years old, to be honest with you.
You don't look that old to be able to come here.
I don't know, like 50. I don't know whenever this place first opened. So
that's awesome.
But so
you were running around going to shows, shops, messing around with mom and dad.
Yeah, the most boring thing you could do as a kid.
I love
boring thing you could do.
I don't know.
But so as I got older, I started to see, what my parents would pay for antiques and everything. And then I had a full-time job. I still have a full-time job. And I wanted to do something on the side. So I got into antique furniture, buying and selling it.
How old were you when you started that?
Probably in my mid-20s.
In your mid-20s. So you started buying and selling a lot of antique furniture mid-20s. And what, like, was that in the 90s when it was hot, or 2000 or 2000? How old?
Probably about, I'm 38 right now.
Okay.
So I was probably about 2009.
Okay.
Around that time period is whenever I started doing that.
Okay.
And funny thing is, I go to these estate sales and stuff like that, and I bring the pieces home, and some of this stuff I'd list to sell online, and that's mainly what I did. And my dad would come into my storage place, and he'd be like, well, I'll take that piece for the house, I'll take that piece. And well, he owned the storage place, and he didn't charge me a rent, so yeah. So a lot of the antiques now in my parents' house are stuff that I found and have really good deals and stuff like that. So
well, that's great history too. One day when we know 30, 40 years from now, you'll be like, yeah, I remember I bought that and Dad bought off of me, and so you're gonna have a lot of connections.
Exactly.
That's cool.
So how I got into rugs though.
Well, how long did you do furniture?
I did furniture. I still do some furniture on the side, so
okay.
I'll still pick up a nice piece, stuff like that,
But that market's changed so drastically.
Yes, it has. It's changed a lot since 2009, and when I talked to people in 2009, they were telling me, oh, it's changed since the 90s, and then since the 70s and stuff like that. So that market's changed, but all these markets change.
All the markets
rug market changes, everything changes. Yeah. So.
Okay, so you started the market started changing, and now the rugs.
The rugs. So how I got into rugs? I got into rugs actually November of 2020.
November 2020.
Okay. I was laying in bed, and I've been one person just moving furniture. That's a lot.
It's a lot of work. It's heavy to move.
Trying to get people to help you out can be difficult. Yeah, get your brothers or someone else all the time. So I want something I could easily move. I want something that I could ship to.
Okay.
And rugs.
Business strategy was, I'm by myself. I got to be able to move it by myself, and I got to be able to ship it.
Yep.
Okay.
So I had seen rugs before, and I saw them at the price they were going for. Funniest thing is, I saw what my parents bought. They bought some hand-knotted rugs for their house. Mm-hmm. They never really disclosed how much they paid for them, but I had an idea what they paid for them.
Yeah.
And I thought, I'm seeing these rugs selling for this much. I know how much they're willing to pay for them. I can just do a slight markup on what I'm paying for. Hopefully get these out the door really quick.
Okay.
I bought my first rug in November 2020. I sold it in less than 3 days.
In less than 3 days.
So I was like, yep,
you were hooked.
I'm all in. I'm all in at that point.
There.
Because it's not, to me, it was about the speed of the sale.
Yeah.
I love the speed of the sale.
You told me this about 2 months ago, I really want you to explain this to our dealers, our customers, about the speed of the sale you're referring to. You said you don't measure how much money you make, but how fast you sell an item.
I take more pride in the fact if I can sell an item before I can even bring it in here, or if before I can get it online or anything else like that, to me is the best sale that I can have. Sure, there's people, I'm sure they've gotten top dollar sales and stuff like that, and that's good for them, but my strategy is let's get these things out.
You're wholesale.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the way you approach. You're approaching is I'm buying at a wholesale level, I'm selling at a wholesale level, and I'm working on a small margin, I'm assuming, and you're wanting to turn it quick, because that's what I watch you do.
Yeah, and that's my overall goal with this. If you look at the stuff that I had a rug, it's a Persian rug gallery rug. It was a big, probably about 13 by 15.
Okay.
Persian rug gallery had still a sticker on it. I call these fun tags whenever I run into these things.
Right.
It had a price tag of $25,000 on it. I sold it for $2,500.
Yeah.
So just to get it out the door.
Yep.
That's my whole objective. A lot of people, they ask, I have one person I ran into, they're like, are these all hand on? I'm like, yeah. And then they looked at the price and they're like, wow, this is amazing. I said, I'm not in the business to own these rugs that long.
Yeah.
I've sold to customers before. She showed me like a 3x9 that she had at a shop that she was at. And she said, they're asking $2,000 for it. And I said, well, the rugs you're looking at with me here, we're at about $400.
Yeah.
And a lot of those right now, we got $375. So
what do you find that the best selling size rug is in the market? Where's in high demand right now?
When I go to shows, I sell a lot of 4x6s.
Okay.
A lot of 4x6s. I was telling you, anything that's like 2x12, 2x9, those sell fairly quickly.
So you're saying kind of like a runner almost is
really good runners. But the thing is, our homes, these rugs come from Iran, Afghanistan, Turkey, and a lot of Middle Eastern rugs, their homes are designed different than ours are.
Yeah.
There's a lot of 3x9s, 3x10s, just really odd sizes, like 3.5 by 6, stuff like that. So to accommodate, modern American homes, there's certain rugs that, you can find cheaper and stuff like that. But 4x6s sell the most. And then the other thing is things like 8x10s.
Something you put under a dining table or living room setting around?
Exactly.
Okay.
So I make sure, and if you look in the booth here, you're going to see a wide variety of sizes.
Yeah.
You're going to see I've got a 9x15, I got a 9x12, I've got a couple of 9x12s, 8x10s, a lot of 6x9s, not a lot of 4x6s, for apartments, stuff like that.
So here at the Antique Center, and something I notice that you do often is you come in here and you're rearranging this booth constantly, and our viewers that are out there, if they're wanting to come and they're afraid to touch your rugs, what do you tell them?
I tell people, if you walk on the rugs,
walk on them.
Feel free to walk on the rugs.
Walk on the rugs. Open them up.
Yes.
Mess with them.
Because I'm going to be here probably the next day. I'm going to get it all organized and we're going to get it all cleaned up. So, and just leave it as is. I don't mind because I can, clean it up. But feel free to walk on the rugs. I stress this to people at shows. I stress this whenever I'm here.
That's what they're made for.
People come in.
Right?
Yes, that's what they're made for. So feel free to walk on the rugs.
Okay. Oh, cool.
Something else I love about your booth, everything is marked. So the sizes are marked. People coming in here looking for an exact size, they can look through and find it. They can check the tags. So, getting them out, it's a big booth. You can open them up, look at them. You've made it really easy for somebody to shop in your booth.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I agree with that. And what I also like is that you've got such a variety of color. I see so many shoppers that come here, designers looking for room settings and whatnot, and they're looking for certain colors. And man, talk about that. Like, you've got stuff that kind of fits with anything.
A lot of the rugs, so they're all natural dyes. Red is the most prominent of those dyes. So whenever I run into a rug that is not red, I like to buy it.
Okay.
I love the blue rugs, just because it's not red. And anything I can get that's brown, I try and make sure I get different colors.
Yeah.
So different colors is really important because, the more people you talk to, they've got different colors in their houses. you know, different colors in their apartments, and I want to accommodate that.
Yeah, being able to match it in.
It's kind of like size, you know, you have to have different sizes, you have to have different colors too. So, and I have a wide variety. Some of these rugs are new rugs. They're newer rugs made within the last 20 years. I call them my fun rugs. They're made in Pakistan. They're very colorful. And then I've got, you know, your older rugs, you know, the big one that we're sitting on right here. This is probably about 1920s, 1930s. It's a 9x15, but it's a really, really nice rug. And it's got really, I've heard you guys mention this before, really, really tightly knotted knots.
Yeah.
This one does.
This has got 5 borders on it. I mean, this is a great rug. Wonderful pinks and blues. Yeah, I mean, and that's the exciting part. You come here,
9x15.
a 9x15.
Great
What do
size
you have
rug.
that retail at? What's the retail?
I've got this marked here at Heart of Ohio at $15.75.
$15.75, and they're going to actually get that for 10% less of that marked price. We're going to we give off to anyone that comes through our doors 10% discount. So, so think about that. You're getting for $1,400 and change. You're getting a rug that in a rug gallery. I mean, I used to sell these at auctions for $2,000 and $3,000 when the auctions were going hot in the 80s, late 90s, before 2008. Anything like this, we were getting $2,000-$3,000 just one, and we would have stack of 30, and we would just sell them one after another after another. Now you're buying those for half that much here in your booth, and then you're selling a lot of rugs in that 200 to 500, 200 to 600 range, where people can come in, they can afford to buy a rug.
Oh yeah,
you know.
So, and I'll even say most of the rugs, because I brought in a bunch of new inventory last weekend and this weekend. Most of them are 200 to 375. 200 to 375. That's where majority, if you look around in here, that's where you're going to see a lot of the prices are at. Your big 9x12s or 8x10s are going to be a little bit more. Your 6x9s are going to be around 675 to 875. But
how much time have you spent rearranging this booth?
I mean, today, I've spent a couple hours. I spent a couple
hours. Why I asked
him
that question, because he is here a lot. Like, I mean, sometimes
switching out inventory. You do
switching inventory, rearranging, restacking, hanging rugs on the walls, making them so they're stacked by size on the floor. You want to walk in. What is this, 3x5 here?
Yeah.
He's got a stack of like 20 3x5s stacked up where you can just flip through them, look at them easy. You've made it very simple for people to walk in here, and then you keep the upkeep on it.
Yep. And I like to have an open floor plan here in the booth, so you can lay out the rugs and take a look at them. That's what it's kind of designed for. Doing another stack of 4x6s, 3x6s right there next to 3x5s. But that's all probably going to change in the next month, because we switch things up, bring in new rugs, sell some of the rugs that we have here, and then switch it up, because I just like to have a different look. You know, you hear about like people who go to like Turkey and they go to the Grand Bazaar or something like that, and you look at those rug shops. This is what they look like. Yeah. This is what they look like. This
is like a shop if you were in Turkey.
Yeah.
Looking at rugs.
This is exactly what you probably would run into. You know, I've looked at pictures online. I haven't been to any of those countries yet. I'd like to go. But I hear they do like shows where they're throwing the rugs and stuff. So we're doing everything short of that here. It's just a neat.
How long does it take someone to make a rug? Do you know? I mean, like, what kind of time?
I mean, it can take anywhere from. I mean, it can take anywhere from 1 month to maybe 6 months.
And that's what I don't know that customers truly understand that. A lot of this manufactured stuff you see out there, that stuff's machine made in minutes. You know, but these are handmade rugs, hand knotted. They're the amount of time that would go into. I mean, this rug this rug right here. I've heard people say these things could take up to a year to make. Yeah. This
is a very finely knotted rug. This one is right here. And you watch the videos that make it. It's not just one person spending all that time making the rug. There's maybe 3 or 4 people spending time making that rug.
Could be a family. Could be a
And and there's also, I have a lot of what we call I call them tribal rugs. Mm-hmm. So they were made in more of the rural areas of Iran, Afghanistan. And a lot of these things have been passed down from family to family. That's what they were made for. They've got motifs, they've got animals on them, they've got birds on them. It's really interesting what you run into. And what I call the rugs, it's artwork for your floor.
It is.
That's, if you want something that's going to be truly different, come in here and buy a rug. Yeah. Because it's going to set you apart from anything you can find at Walmart, anything you can find at Lowe's or Home Depot. And the quality of these rugs, the wool, is going to outlast anything.
Yeah, and now that's a great example of talking about how long these things last. Because the rug that we're sitting on is in pretty good shape, and that's made in the 1920s, 30s.
I'd say probably about 1920s,
20s. Okay,
1930s.
so that's what this rug down here, and it's still usable. It's going to last another 100 years. I mean,
I tell everyone it's going to outlive me.
Yeah,
it's going to outlive us. You know, and at the prices you're getting them for here at Heart of Ohio, like, it's something you can't beat. So
can't beat it.
No,
it doesn't matter what show you go to, where you're going. You're not going to find more reasonable priced rugs and a better selection than right here in this booth.
Yeah, and I'm always changing things out. So, and if you see me in here, if you have any questions, I'm more than happy to help you out. I like to talk to customers. I think that's one thing that, you know, kind of helps out with sales and everything.
Yeah.
Getting to know your customers, getting to know what they're looking for.
For sure.
And then I can bring in inventory. If I hear a lot of customers telling me, for instance, like today, we're looking for 2x12s. More customers say that, the more I'm going to bring in some more 2x12s and stuff like that. So yeah, we're going to get that taken care of for you. So
that's great. Well, Robert, thank you so much for sitting down with us. Is there anything else you want to make sure we get out to the viewers? You know, feel free. If not, and you know, I'll leave that on you for a second here.
Just want to reinforce: feel free to walk on the rugs.
Walk on the
yeah.
Walk on the rugs.
That
is what we need to tell you today.
And feel free to open them up. You know, if you have any questions, I'd be more than willing to help if I'm here. Just kind of help you get things taken care of. So,
well, guys, thanks for watching again. We really appreciate it. If you're not subscribed to this channel yet, subscribe at Heart of Ohio Antiques. We need to keep having you here as part of our audience. Listen to these kinds of folks. We got Robert right now. We've got other dealers we're going to keep interviewing. Behind the scenes stuff you're not going to find anywhere else. This is America's biggest and best antique center. 122,000 square foot of antiques to shop here. It doesn't matter where you're coming from. You come here, you're going to find some interesting items. 2 channels. At Heart of Ohio Antiques is the Antique Center channel, and then Josh and I do some behind the scenes stuff with our own buying and selling and family business at Burner Brother Antiques. Like, subscribe, bless you guys. Thank you.
Thank you,
Robert. Awesome. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Yep.